Welcome, friends. Welcome to my channel Study Smart. Today I am going to teach the first chapter of Business Studies, that is, Nature and Purpose of Business. What is a business? Business is a kind of major economic activity in all modern society because it is concerned with the production and sales of goods and services required by the people. But what we mean by economic activity? For that, to understand the business studies or the business at all, first we have to understand different types of activities an individual performs in his day-to-day life. For example, going to office, spending time with children, watching TV, etc. Now, all these activities performed by an individual can be classified into mainly two categories. One is economic activity, another is non economic activity. Now, what are these economic activity? Economic activities are activities which is concerned with the purchase or the production and sale of goods or provision of services with a view to earn income in the form of profit by satisfying the needs of the people. Now, economic activities, that means any kind of activities, whether in exchange or sale, where there is some money is there, that will be called economic activity. And what are like our occupation, which are people work for others and get the remuneration in the form of wages and salaries. A teacher teaching in a school and he's getting his salary. So these are all kind of economic activities where there is monetary returns. Now, what are the non-economic activities? These are the kind of activities which are undertaken to satisfy the social and psychological needs. Like these activities are concerned with love, sympathy, patriotism, sentiments, etc. Like when a teacher teaching his own son, it will be included in non-economic activity. But if that teacher is teaching in a school and getting a salary for that, that activity will be classified as economic activities. The same teacher is teaching in a school and teaching in her own home, but there are differences because for one economic activity he is demanding money, he is getting salary, wages, and for non-economic activity he is doing these activity out of love and affection to his son. So we can write teaching in a school will be a economic activity, or teaching own son will be non-economic activity. Now we will come to business. Now here, what is business? Business is a major economic activity in all modern societies. We know that the central purpose behind this activity is to earn money. Now, business is derived from a term busy. It means it includes all occupation in which people are busy in earning income. So, business came from the word busy. Now, there are certain characteristics of business. These characteristics Explain the fundamental nature of the business. What are these characteristics? Number one is economic activity. We have already discussed that economic activity is a kind of activity where there are some monetary exchange. Now, business should be an economic activity because it includes exchange of goods and services with the purpose of earning money. Someone is producing a goods and he is selling it to the market and he is earning money in lieu of that. So these goods, exchange of goods, he is getting in terms of money. So business should be an economic activity. Number two is production or procurement of goods and services. Now, every business enterprise produces the goods or acquires them from the producer to sell them to consumers and earn profit in this process. So, there should be some procurement or the production of these goods and services. This is the second characteristics. The third one is sale or exchange of goods and services for value. Now, value directly or indirectly, business involves transfer of exchange of goods and services for value. If goods are produced not for purpose of sale, it cannot be called as business activity. Now suppose a farmer is producing wheat. He is keeping some portion of it for her own consumption. It will not called be business. But if he sells it in the market and earn monies in exchange of that, then it will be called business. Next is profit earning. Now, what is the primary objective of the businessman? It is to earn profit. Now, for these, businessmen make all possible efforts to increase the volume and the sales and to reduce cost. So, only because of this profit, an individual comes for business. So, whether there is a business, there should be an objective of profit earning. Next is uncertainty of return. In business, the returns or the amount invested are not certain. There is always a possibility of loss, always a possibility of gain, but we don't know what will happen in future. A businessman can earn profit or can earn losses. Now there is always an uncertainty in this return. Next is dealing of goods and services on regular basis. Now in business, these dealing of goods and services should be on regular basis. One single transaction or sale will not be considered as business. Suppose I have a car. I want to sell it. Now, if I want to sell it and I am earning some money selling of this car, then it will be not called as business because I am not doing this activity regularly. But A person who is engaged in the selling and purchasing of the cars on a regular basis, then it will be a business for her. So, any kind of deals of goods and services should be regular in nature. Next is element of risk. Now, as I have told you that there is an uncertainty of return. So, business always involves an element of risk. It implies the uncertainty of reward or possibility of loss. So, whenever an individual is involving in a business, that means he or she is accepting this element of risk. If the risk is low, then possibility of gaining profit will be high, and if this risk is high, then the possibility of the incurring loss will be high. So these are the basic characteristics of business by which we can categorize whether any kind of activity is business or not. Now we will see objectives of business. Now, objective of business define the future state of affairs which the organization strives to realize. These objectives can be categorized into two categories. Some objectives are economic objectives and some are social objectives. So we can categorize it as economic objectives and social objectives. Now, what are the economic objectives? It is earning profit. Every businessman seeks to earn some money or earn profit by satisfying the want of consumer. So it is very important. It plays a very important role for growth and the survival of the business. Next is market standing. A business enterprise must try to enhance its market share as it can earn more only when large number of customers are recognizing and purchasing its products. So there should be a market stand for him. Otherwise, his business will not run. Third is innovation. Innovation it refers to the development of new method of production, or sometimes it is the adoption of new and latest technologies. No business enterprises can flourish in a competitive world without this innovation or without the accepting of this new or the latest technologies. So if you want to stand in the market, if you want to compete in the market, then you have to accept the modern latest technology. Number 4, physical and financial resources. Now, any business enterprise should aim to acquire some physical and financial resources as per its need, and they should use it efficiently. Without these resources, financial resources, and the productivity, no business can run properly. So, and how to use these resources the most efficiently, whether minimum wastage should be done. There should be less and less of wastage of the resources. A business enterprise should always look into this matter. 5. Productivity. Every businessman should aim at greater productivity through the best possible use of resources, so that he can ensure a continuous survival in the progress. So, for that, productivity is very important and becomes a very important objective of the business. 6 is managers development. Various programs should be conducted by business enterprises to motivate managers and to improve their performance. How there should be some workshops, seminars, which will actually enhance their ability to work better in the organization. So, objective of the business should be to improve the ability of the managers. Next is workers' performance and attitude. Now, a business firm should always aim to ensure a positive attitude on the part of the workers, because they are the main workforce which actually creating the products. So if they are not working properly in a very healthy environment, then the productivity of the goods will not be maintained properly. So workers performance and attitude should be positive in this respect, and it is the responsibility of the owner to maintain it in the workplace. Next, we have social objectives. In social objectives, we have certain um, characteristics like supply good quality products. Now, it is the duty of the businessman to produce and supply products in a proper quality and at a reasonable price to satisfy the expectation of the consumers. Suppose a businessman is not providing in the initial stages of business provided a good quality, but after that his quality of the product has decreased, then the customers will not stick to him. Throughout long run, the businessman will have to maintain the good quality of its product. Next is avoidance of unfair trade practices. Businessman should be very much honest in his business, like no anti-social practices such as black marketing, adulteration, misleading informations. These things should be avoided on the part of businessman. Otherwise, this will hamper the reputation of the businessman. Third is employee welfare. Now, any businessman, it is his responsibility or duty and to provide a good working environment to the employee of the organization, and it is the duty of the every employer to provide good working condition, fair, and just equal treatment, impressive wages to their employees, so that they should be loyal to their owner and work in a better way. 4. Generation of employment. Now, a businessman must create some employment opportunities so that the different sections of the society can earn their livelihood. That means when he is engage in any kind of production of goods and services, as his business develops, he needs more and more people to work. So he will have to generate more and more employment. 5. Protection of environment. Now, business enterprise should always take necessary steps to protect the environment. That means if it is chemical industry, then all the wastage should be passed through proper channels, not thrown here and there. And proper arrangement should be made for disposal of affluents, waste, etc. That means it is their responsibility to protect the environment as well. It's not that yes, I am doing my business for my own profit, I am not taking care of environment, who cares? But there should be the protection of environment also on the part of them. So, students, today I am finishing this lecture, and in my next video, I will talk about the business risk and the role of profit in business. If you like my video, then please share it with your friends, subscribe my channel, share your comments so that I can improve my video in future. And thank you very much for watching.